Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's constitutional panel. I'm Councillor David Greenhouse, leader of Bolton Council. I'll be chairing tonight's meeting. I'm joined by fellow councillors and officers of the council, and by Vicky Ridge from Democratic Services, who will be assisting me with the meeting. If I can move first of all to item 1 on the agenda, which is declarations of interest. If we have any, please. No, thank you, none to registered. Item 2 is urgent business, if any, introduced by myself, and I have none. So I move to item 3, please, Vicky, and ask for any apologies for absence.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I've had apologies from Councillor Morgan and Councillor Ishmael.
Thank you. Item 4 is minutes of the last meeting, which have been circulated and are enclosed. Are there any matters arising from those minutes? No, thank you. Then we move on to item 5, which is the appointment and changes to memberships of committees. Can I hand over now, please, to Vicky, who will go through those changes. Thank you, Vicky.
Thank you, Councillor Greenhouse. So the first changes to look at are the appointments of members to committees, scrutiny committees and area forums. I do apologise for the lateness for when these lists have actually come out, and I have actually circulated this now 3 times. So if I just go through where the changes are at the moment, on the Cabinet, and this is not for a formal approval one, but just for members' information, Councillor Connor for the Conservatives has now been put on there. And then with the scrutiny committees, they've all gone to a committee of 17. And so the Conservatives have put forward Councillor Ratcliffe and Councillor Waters. And the newly formed Bolton Independent Group has put forward Councillor Allen. In terms of the Place Scrutiny Committee, the Conservatives have put forward Councillor Cunningham as a replacement. And the Bolton Independent Group has put forward Councillor Parkinson. All of the other memberships remain the same on that. If we go to Children's, it's Councillor Cunningham and Councillor Waters who've been put forward for the Conservatives, and Councillor Fletcher for the Bolton Independent Group. All the other appointments remain the same. Health Scrutiny, we have got Councillor Connor and Councillor Waters being put forward for the Conservatives, Councillor Fletcher for the Bolton Independent Group, and all the other amendments, all the other memberships remain the same. For Planning Committee, there were no changes apart from Councillor Allen is now representing the Bolton Independent Group. Licensing Committee, there's a slight anomaly of this one. Licensing is now gone to a 10. Councillor Galloway has been put forward for the Conservatives, and Councillor Allen has been put forward for the Bolton Independent Group. The Crompton Independent Party are also entitled to a place on this committee, but I'm still to receive the nomination, so that will be made at Council on the 17th of March. Because Licensing Committee has gone down to 10, we no longer have a Licensing Subcommittee Traffic and a Licensing Subcommittee Sensitive, because there used to be a membership of 5 and that no longer works now. Therefore, the main committee will pick up both traffic and sensitive, and we've still got to have some discussions with officers around whether or not we theme the main licensing committee. In terms of standards committee, there are no changes. That was previously approved at council, and I am proposing that changes to audit committee and Bolton Care Steering Committee are made at council on the 17th of March. So that's the first document, Chair, for approval.
Thank you. Can we have, can we signify all those approval? Can I ask people to unmute and say aye, please?
Aye.
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 Vicky, Bob Allen, on
Yeah.
the Standards Committee, I think you missed off Councillor Parkinson.
Sorry, I have included her on the list. Sorry, I did miss her off, yeah.
Okay, aye. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. That's document 1 through, Vicky.
Brilliant. So document 2 is the appointments of members to panels. On this one, obviously, we've already done the constitutional panel, which we did at council on the 17th of Feb. Sorry, on the 17th of Feb. And the proposed changes for this meeting are to the charitable land panel, which has now been increased to a 10. And the amendments to that, one of the verbal amendments to that is the Conservatives are now going to put Councillor Walsh onto it. Councillor Sylvester and Councillor Sherrington are the Labour nominations. Councillor Newall, the Lib Dem, Councillor Weatherby, Falmouth and Kersey First, Councillor Parkinson, the Bolton Independent Group. Crompton Independents are entitled to a place, but I'm still to receive the nomination, so that will go forward to council on the 17th of March. In terms of the Education Assistance Panel, again, that's gone to a 10. The document I've circulated is to be amended again. So for Conservatives, it will now be Councillor Galloway, Morgan and Connor. Labour is additionals, Ayoub and Councillor Morris. The Lib Dems is Councillor Newall, Falmouth and Kersey First, Councillor Patterson. Bolton Independent Group, Councillor Fletcher, and Crompton Independents, again, have got to receive a nomination. And then finally, School Governor Appointments Panel. The change from the document that I've already circulated is that Councillor Fairclough will also be going on for the Conservatives. And as stated in the document, Councillor Abdullah is on for Labour, Councillor Flitcroft for Falmouth and Kersey First, Councillor Fletcher for Bolton Independent Group, and again I need to receive the nomination for Crompton Independents. And just to explain, I've only done them changes at this meeting tonight because I am aware that these meetings need to be arranged quite quickly and couldn't possibly wait till the 17th of March. All the rest of the appointments within panels will get agreed at council on the 17th of March. And again, that's for all your approval, please.
Thank you, Vicky. If I could just ask colleagues to... Sorry, are there any questions? Yeah, Nick?
Yeah, sorry, Chair, Councillor Bale. Vicky, I think you missed the name off. So we went up from 1, 2, 3. So should be Councillor Donaghy remains. You only mentioned Councillor Abdullah.
Sorry, that was because, it was just because Councillor Abdullah is an addition to your membership. Councillor Iqbal and Donaghy are already on it.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Are there any further questions regarding those before we go to the vote? No. Can I ask you therefore to unmute, please, and signify by an aye that you're all in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Just a point, Leader. I think Councillor Howard mentioned earlier, Councillor Allen still appears under the Conservatives in several places.
I'm
looking at the personnel appeals at the moment, but
I have circulated a third document because it was highlighted to me actually from Councillor Mrs Fairclough, thank you, before the meeting that Councillor Allen did appear on some of them, and I should have rectified all them now, especially on all the committees. So Councillor Allen's not on them, but he is on in his own right as the Bolton Independent Group.
So we'll revisit that. Thanks very much. I know Councillor Howard has put that in the chat as well. We will revisit. We'll just double check on that, and if we have to do any further appointments, we'll pick them up at full council. Is that all right, Vicky?
It is, yeah. Just to confirm that the third document that I sent out did have the correct versions for all the committees, which is the ones that I need to get through tonight.
Thank you. So you've got full approval from us tonight on those changes, Vicky. Is that all the business from your end, Vicky?
It is, yeah. Thank you very much.
So that concludes the business of tonight's constitutional panel. Thank you very much for your attendance and anyone that joined us from the general public. Thanks very much. Thank you, everyone. I declare the meeting closed.
thank you, Vicky. Well done.
Yeah, well done, Vicky. Yeah.